So, welcome to Unit 3. We're going to talk about square roots today. And mostly we're dividing. We want to look at denominators. But in order to divide, we just have to know some properties about multiplication. So these are all the properties. This is the main one that you're going to use. And that just means if you are multiplying two square roots, like say I have the square root of 2 times the square root of 3, that's really the square root of 2 times 3, or the square root of 6. Okay, and you square roots, multiply and subtract. You don't really need to know these ones. So this property, you do need to know. That's really what we're doing, is dividing. So this one is saying if I have two different square roots, so say I have the square root of 2 over the square root of 3, I can combine these square roots into one square root, so that 2/3 is underneath 1. And this goes both ways. So if I have the square root of like 1/3, I could split that into the square root of 1 over the square root of 3, because we know the square root of 1 is just 1. But the next step is called rationalizing the denominator. That's what this is. Rationalize the denominator. And we do that when there's a square root left on the denominator. Okay, that's not good math practice. Okay, so this is not proper, and we rationalize. So let's look at an example. Say I have a number, let's say like 5, over a square root. To rationalize this, we multiply by the denominator itself. But what you do to the denominator, you have to do to the numerator. So what that does is, that's this property, 5 square roots of 3, those stay separate. You can't combine a square root and not a square root. Over, and now we're back to this property. We put the 3's under one square root because that makes the square root of a perfect pair, it makes it something that will lose the square root. So the square root of 9 is 3, and then up here we have 5 square roots of 3. This is your answer. These 3's do not cancel out because this 3 is under a square root.